The Snow Rocket by Derek Anderson. The Snow Rocket by Derek Anderson. It was a perfectly delicious day to build something. The sun was golden, the air was sweet, and a blanket of fresh snow was waiting. So after breakfast, Romeo and Lou hurried over to their favorite snowy blowy hill. They didn't know what to make, so they just started one little snowball. Romeo rolled and Lou pushed. Romeo patted and Lou smushed. But it wasn't until they were finished that they realized what they'd made. "What is it?" asked Lou. "I think it's a rocket ship," said Romeo. So they climbed aboard. Lou didn't like to fly, but this rocket ship was just pretend. They played in their new rocket ship all afternoon. Then the stars came out. That's when one teeny shooting star streaked high above. The rocket ship let out a snowy sputter and then an icy click. "What was that?" asked Romeo as he felt a low rumble. "I thought it was you," said Lou as he felt a large thump. And suddenly they blasted off. They looped and swirled over the snowy ground and twisted and twirled into the night. Lou screamed the whole way. The landing didn't go very well. They skidded and bumped over hills and lumps until they rattled to a stop on a weird new world. "Where are we?" asked Lou. "I'm not sure," said Romeo, "but I think it's a different planet." Lou looked at the rocket ship and whimpered. There wasn't much left of it. "How are we going to get home?" asked Lou. "I guess we'll have to find another way," said Romeo. So Romeo and Lou went off to find another way home. They soon got lost in the strange forest. "Weird," said Romeo. "These trees don't look like anything the ones back home," said Lou. They were relieved when they saw another penguin and polar bear. Romeo and Lou hurried over to ask for their help. "But, boy, are we glad to see you," said Romeo and Lou. But something wasn't right. The penguin was too big, and the polar bear was too small, and they weren't helpful at all. When Romeo asked for a rocket ride home, the big penguin said, "Whoa!" And the little polar bear didn't say anything at all. He just growled. "Geez, what a grump," said Lou. They tried to find someone else to help, but there weren't any other penguins or polar bears. They spotted a seal, but he wouldn't even look at them. "Is he spitting at us?" said Romeo. "How rude," said Lou. They even saw 2 walruses, but they were busy ice fishing. "Don't they know that's not ice?" said Romeo. "Silly walruses." Then they found what they were hoping for, a real live rocket ship, said Romeo. "We're going home," said Lou. Romeo and Lou quickly climbed aboard. But before they could blast off, they were chased out by a school of angry fish. And then a shark showed up. Romeo and Lou ran. The shark chased them down a bumpy hill and over a long rickety bridge. Romeo and Lou ran for as long as they could, and when they didn't see the shark anymore, they found a place to hide. Romeo was still huffing and puffing when Lou began to sniffle. "That was our last chance," cried Lou. "Now we're stuck here forever." But Romeo was already thinking. "I know how to get home," he said. "You do?" said Lou. "How?" "The same way we got here. We have to build a rocket ship," said Romeo. Lou liked that idea a lot, but there wasn't any snow. They would have to build it out of something else, and then Romeo spotted just the thing. It wasn't perfect. They had to empty some things out, and it needed a little work. So Romeo folded, and Lou gnawed. Romeo scrunched, and Lou clawed, and when it looked like a rocket ship, they climbed aboard. "Cross your toes," said Romeo. "Please work," said Lou, even though he was still afraid to fly. "Please." At first they didn't hear anything. There wasn't a snowy sputter, and there was no icy clicks, but soon they heard a low rumble and a few large thumps, and suddenly, to their surprise, the rocket ship took off. "Hold on, you big fuzzball," said Romeo. "We're going home." "Oh, happy day," cried Lou. As their rocket ship swished and swayed in the starry night, Romeo and Lou smiled all the way home. Hello, I'm the mom that reads. I choose books from our own library that were my children's favorites. Thank you for visiting my channel. Please like and subscribe.